Hey there, viewers, and welcome back to the South Main Auto Channel. Sitting inside a Chevrolet Impala, I think around an 11-ish. Haven't looked at the VIN yet. Fresh from the used car lot, fresh off the auction block. Brought to SMA. Got it. Cream puff, you know the story. All that. Already losing money on the deal. The whole spiel. Took it in to have the oil change. Now it's got massive oil leaks and its door locks don't work and the trunk doesn't open. Stuff like that. Wants us to take a look at the door locks, figure out why they no longer work. Supposedly they did. We can see from the key fob. I was going to say from the key fob nothing happens. Let me just shut the door. I lied to you. So when I lock it, the headlights go out. When I unlock it, the headlights come on. So that's a clue. Let me show you. Shine up on the toolbox. So this is lock. The marker lights confirm the lock, unlock, lock. Oddly enough, let me see something here. I do hear some noise over here. I just want to. No, so physically they move. All right, I thought I heard something in that passenger door. Down inside the passenger side footwell, I do hear some clicking. Lock, unlock, lock. Unlock. So I believe the body module is receiving a signal, obviously, because the lights come on, the interior lights come on. I hear some clicking on the relays down there, but nothing inside the doors. So all I've done at this point is made those observations. Appears to be, you know, the same thing from the power lock buttons. Relays clicking, nothing else is happening. The door open. You go to lock it and the interior dinger comes on faintly. So that is as far as I've gotten. All I've done beyond that is check to make sure the fuse is in the fuse box for the door locks. There's a 25 amp fuse down there. Made sure it had power on it with test light, and that's it. Then I finished working on a vehicle that I was working on. So here we are. So I think probably our next best step is to go look at some data, see what's happening, see if that gives us any clues. Whoa! Easy fella. This one doesn't quite hang on the steering wheel like the other one does. It's the Altel MS906BT. So I'm going to let it read the VIN. And then of course the trunk button is over here and that does not work either. I'm going to put the vehicle in neutral just for grins and giggles. That does not work there. And I don't believe it does not work with the key fob either. So that's kind of where we're at. Manual zone, yes. 08, this is a 2008 Chevy. I thought it was like an 11. What do I know? So let's see what we see in the body module. See if using bidirectional controls we can, you know, power the locks and stuff like that with RPO UH8. Well, I can't check the RPOs. Well, I could run the VIN, but RPOs are in the trunk, unfortunately. I might be able to go through the back seat if we have to. Let's see, is that an option? Oh, not through there, it's not. Oh, right through there it is, fella. What about this one? Chevy always makes a plan B. Let's see. Oh, man, I need one of my children. Golf ball free. Oh, baby. Don't latch on me, fella. I pulled the emergency latch in the trunk. I'm gonna go check the RPO codes. He said the trunk didn't open. It's got glitter back here. Oh boy, stripper dust. Where's our codes at? There they are. This has UH8. Alright, we'll leave that trunk open. That's the emergency latch I pulled. Right here, the little glow in the dark one, in case somebody locks you in the trunk. Now we know. That was easier than running the VIN number, I guess. So come in here, we're going to go diagnose control unit. We're going to pick the body module just for grins and giggles. See if it has any codes in it that can help us. Let's see. And there's one tail or trunk hatch liftgate release output circuit failed. So that makes some sense there. That gives us an idea with that. Alright. We'll go special functions. Nope. Active tests. Alarm backups, LEDs. Oh, I see. Driver door unlocked. Let me close the door, fellas. Let me lock it. I hear a relay click down there. Wouldn't it be funny if this thing just had 4 bad actuators? Alright, let's see. It's passenger door, right door, driver's door, unlock switch inactive. Turn it on. Oh, okay, that must be just a switch input. Let's hit the switch input. Active. So it sees it. That's interesting. I'm really starting to think this thing's got bad actuators. Trunk release. Let's go here. I don't hear anything happening in the trunk. Of course, it is open now. Let me hit the button over here. Hitting the button, it says active, inactive, so it does receive the button input. Trunk release, solenoid command off. Let me go back there and just hit the latch real quick. So I tripped the latch in the back, and you can see our status here on the rear closer jar switch went from active to inactive. I hit the button, and what's interesting is the release solenoid command stays off. Okay, now it's on. Okay. And still no noise in the back. So that's interesting. When I hit the button, it shows the button is being active. Okay, so that's something to keep in mind. What do we got? Unlock rear doors, lock rear doors. Let's just try, just for hoop and laughter here. We'll see what alright, so very interesting. I still hear relays clicking. So let's just go look at some data, make sure the BCM is receiving all of its signals. So this is pretty fun. Let's see, doors, what we want. Personalization. That if we're gonna just go right to doors. Imagine that's where we want to be. All door lock command. Very top data PID. Oops, that's unlocked. All door lock command. That does not change states. Let me just shut the key off here. Okay, so all door lock command, that does change states. Goes from on to off. Door key cylinder unlock switch inactive. Let me, I just like to go down through the data PID, see if there's anything. Let me try to stick the keys in the door out here. I don't see that changing states. It doesn't surprise me a whole lot. Sometimes these, if you've never used your lock cylinder in a door, particularly on a 10-year-old vehicle, sometimes you know, they don't work. So if you have a Chevy and you've unlocked it with a key and you get in and all of a sudden your alarm goes off, that's usually the switch, this door key cylinder unlock switch. It usually fails. Door lock requester. Okay, so that changed states. The last state I did it with is with the power, or with the key fob, and it recognizes that. Keyless entry. Then when I use the door, it recognizes that. Driver's door closed. Driver door lock switch. Changes from inactive to active. Driver's door closed. Open, so that works. Driver door unlock switch. Active. Driver door unlock command. On. So it is sending the command. Boy, this is really looking like it's going to be some bad actuators. Left rear door closed. Passenger door closed. Passenger door open switch closed. Passenger door lock switch. Now let me see if I can reach it over here. You guys are going to have to take my word for it. Okay, that changes from active to inactive. Same with the unlock. So it really appears that the BCM is reading everything. Everything appears to be working. I believe our trunk is going to be a different problem than what our front doors are. I mean, everything here looks good, fellas. Like I said, I'm going off the word of the used car guy. Let's see if they have body rear end. Is that going to be like the deck lid? Let's just have a gander at that. Yep, here we go. Trunk release command. Interior trunk liftgate switch active. It's interesting that the trunk release solenoid command is off, and I wonder if that's because it has a code in it. So I tell you what, just for the sake of looking at it, why don't we check out the trunk? Because I don't hear any, I don't hear any relays when I push that. And we have the output circuit code. Let's see, this ignition pass and failed, last test failed, and currently it's failed. I say we look at this, perhaps this is, an open fuse if it doesn't, see the power going through the relay and back to the ECM, or back to the body module, perhaps it doesn't even command, because it has that code. Just for the heck of it, let's clear that code out. I'm sure it'll come right back. Let's just reread the codes. Nope, no fault codes. Let's just push the button. Nothing happening there. Let's reread the codes. Yep, so it sets that code as soon as you push the button. Okay, so 3265 is the code number. Let's just pop on the World Wide Web here. Oh wait, Chevy. Impala, I don't know if it's a gas. Oh yeah, pick one, fella. We'll just go gas engine. We'll get a diagram for that rear. Oh, my hands are all sweaty and wet here. Let's see, we're going OEM wire diagram. Trunk. Junk in my trunk. Oops, trunk release. Hopefully that's good enough. Nope. Too many words, fella. We'll just go trunk. Alright, wiring schematics. Let's see here. Underhood fuse box, trunk relay, fuse block, oops, instrument panel. Alright, well, that doesn't really help me, fella. Go back. There we go. Let's click on the trunk relay. That's not what I wanted. Oh, you ding dong. I want to find the control side of that relay. Instead of boring you guys with this, I might trunk relay, trunk diode. That is in the fuse block instrument panel, so I'm assuming that's the one down below here. So we can check that 10 amp fuse, but it shouldn't really be able to monitor that, I don't believe, because it's going to want to look at this control side of this relay. Can I enhance? Enhance. Enhance. No, I can't do any enhancing. Must be the features turned off. So we can see the load side of the relay gets its power. That also feeds a whole bunch of other business. Audio amplifier. What else? Radio. Is radio work? Yeah, radio works. A big 50 amp fuse feeds the load side of that relay. Comes through, goes through. Once the relay is closed, oh look at that! I can double tap. It goes through the trunk 10 amp fuse. So we'll check that. In the meantime, I'm going to see if I can find the other half of this relay in the wiring diagrams. Alright, I found it under the body control module and then release systems. So the body control module here has a transistor in it that turns, it must be send power to the relay, so it sends power to the relay. Where does it get its So remote control door lock receiver, which we know the button's working, so we really don't care about that. So the BCM receives its input from, where does it receive? It receives its input from the button that we push, and then, you know, it decides to close that or turn that transistor on, which in turn turns a relay on, which goes through that fuse. And then, you know, here's the ground down here, and it has a diode in it. So it's pretty interesting. Let's just check that fuse, see what we see there. It shouldn't send power back through, so alright, let's just start simple. So this thing was already broke, just FYI. Let's just see, I don't know if this is the fuse box we're talking about. The lid is off from that connector already. Got some relays down here. According to the diagram, the lock relays were printed circuit board relays. Let's see, canister trunk, 10 amp. Look at this top one right here. So, instead of just yanking it out of there like a caveman, I did bring a test light. And let's see. Let me clamp us a ground. Get one up here on the door. Oops. Oh, come on. There, that's the ground. Now this bottom 25 ampere, that's our door lock fuse. That one's powered up. Here's our trunk fuse. Now I don't believe that was hot. That was on the load side of the relay, right? Let's have a gander again. That was. So that one's not going to have any power applied to it until the relay is turned on. So we're going to pop back in here. We're going to go to special functions, and then we're going to back out because that's the wrong screen. And then we're going to go wherever it was that we were. This one, trunk release. We're going to go on this fuse. It's odd that it wasn't receiving the command though to turn it on, so let me hit the on button. It says trunk release solenoid command on. And I ain't seeing it, fellas. It ain't lighting up here on either side. Okay, and the trunk release is latched. Alright, so was that relay part of a printed circuit board? Maybe that's separate. It doesn't say PCB next to it. It just says trunk relay. So let's find out where that lives. Maybe it's one of these relays in here. It doesn't say on here. These silver things are just your circuit breakers, but there's a relay right here, and then there's another one up in there. Let me see if I can find that info. So I did find this picture here. So here's something: relays, list blower, non-serviceable printed circuit board relays, internal to the block. So door lock, unlock. The other door unlock relay. So you got driver's door and then the other 3 doors for the unlock relay, and then retained accessory power relay. But I do see it says, you know, trunk relay, trunk fuse 10 ampere compartment lid actuator, but it shows trunk relay. But when I go back to the little picture here, it doesn't really do as much good because that's the same picture we have. So I'm gonna keep poking, see what I find. This picture seems to be more handy, so it must be, I think it is like, oh yeah, great. Can't really turn it here. Let's open this up. I have to figure out how to turn on the pinch to zoom feature here. Let's see. So here's our trunk 10 amp. Which way did that sit? Okay, so that sits vertical. So the relay must be the one right above that. Is there a relay above that, fellas? There's not a relay in the hole, fella. So it's got to be these four prongs here that are open. That says trunk, and then left unlock down here, and they got to be on the printed circuit board. But there's this big honky relay right here that says lock, and that one's definitely not printed circuit board. And then it shows the 25 amp circuit breaker, so that's these fellas. Is this thing just freaking missing a relay? That would be ridiculous. Well, I know. Let me go. I think I got a whole bag of relays upstairs. Let's go see. So I found this relay upstairs. I changed out a lot of Chevy fuse boxes, so I've got a lot of spare relays. Just for grins and giggles. Oh, fits like a glove. Let's see. Turn this back on. We'll pop back into here. Trunk release. See if it makes any noise back there now. Whoa! Scared me. Whoops. Alright, so that obviously works. Let's go have a look. This guy is a freaking liar. Let's see, our latch should be open. Our latch is open now. That's closed, meow. If we hit the button, meow. Oh, look at that. Chunk pops up. What do you know? See, guy, you shouldn't have lied to me. You should have told me that it didn't work to begin with. Let's turn that off. Alright. Come back in here. Hit the button. Uh-oh. Did I not? Oh, I got to probably back out of that test, I bet. I bet you. Bet you dollars to donuts. And the test. Let's just take this with us so we don't have to walk back and forth a dozen times. Let's see now if it works. Oh, look at that. What do you know? Hey, we're like a bunch of heroes. Unbelievable. I hate it when customers lie to me. I mean, not that it changes the outcome any, but it's just stupid. Why lie? Why don't you just tell me you bought the car at the auction and the freaking door locks don't work instead of give me this big rigmarole that the guy that changed your oil screwed you. Jeez. So it's missing a relay. I'm just going to leave that relay in there. It has a diode in the wiring, so we're good in that sense. Somebody has been in here though, you know, truth be told, because I see this, you know, this covers off the wiring there on that connector. I suppose we could probably, oh, I shouldn't even touch it. We didn't break it, but you know what? Let's pop this thing off. Now we can see what in the thunder's going on. Let's see if we can put this cover back on for him so we don't look like a bunch of slobs. There, that's back on. So now we don't look like the ding-dongs. Hey, there's my fuse. Anybody watching the Honda Pilot video will know about that. Let's see what else we got going on down here. Don't look like much. Somebody's had this connector off right here. This connector is supposed to be clipped on that blue thing down there. So they've been screwing around here. They've been screwing around with something. Probably why the car ended up at the auction. Be my guess. Broken lid, connector out of place, cover off. What's that tell you? I'll tell you what that tells you. It tells you that somebody's already looked at it. Alright, that doesn't clip into anything, so I'll just set this back on here. Alright, I guess it's time to go straight for a door at this point. Pick a door, any door, I guess it doesn't matter. We're on the passenger side, so we picked the passenger door. So we'll take the little rubber out of the door pull. I don't know if this one, that one, nothing under there we need to get to. We just got to find all the stuff we need to get to. Probably something behind the door handle here. Knock that little guy off. Why's he got to lie to me, people? I don't particularly care for this particular used car lot to begin with. And then you got to come in and lie to me. The trunk release obviously did not work. Ever. I got bits, I got no screwdriver. Pretty much airplane mechanic. Delta limited edition snap-on screwdriver. Is there something I should be doing before going for a door lock actuator? Probably. I'm probably going to eat some humble pie here in a minute, but I'll pull the little top piece off there. It sure seems like door lock actuators to me. could be way wrong, obviously. We all can, we're fallible humans. Man, it ain't long enough before they don't poke outside the door. So there's those. Got any other kind of screws or anything here? These lift up or pull out? Oh, pull out. What we got? We got something hiding behind the little light out here, maybe. Whoa, fella! Oh man, I hate plastic. Didn't break it. 4 little dongers on there. There's that. And yes, there's a screw back there. I thought it felt kind of tight. Can you guys see what's going on over here? I'm way over in the corner of your screen. One more screw. Ticks a 7 millimeter. There's that. Get that off. Classic reach around must be administered at this point. I'm gonna have to unhook the door cable. I'll show you once I get it off. They're kind of a piss pot to do. Wow, the struggle's real here today. Let's get some light on this subject. Ah, almost had you, baby. There she goes. Now we're talking. Now, door cable's undone. Door is unplugged, which might burn us. I think we need to leave it plugged in. So, let's have a gander. Bring it around. This lock assembly. I think the lock here, cup holder and all that business just pops out. Let's just have a see. Can you guys see? Hope so. Are you gonna pop out on me, fella? There she goes. Okay. Alright. We're almost cooking with fire. That's the actual door lock button up here. Well, that isn't gonna do me any good, is it? How do you come out of there? I don't want to go breaking stuff. How do you come out of there, little guy? Oh, I see. I see. Says the blind man. Release tab up top. Don't you break. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. There she goes. That is out and about. Now we can plug our door back in. That is plugged in. Man, I've got a feeling I'm making a mistake here. I hope not. Just seeing if our door lock button would come out relatively easy. It don't. So I am going to stick my door panel just down below the door here. Just enough to plug the door button back in. Okay, the door button is plugged back in. Maybe you guys can hear that. So now we're going to open up this to get to our door lock actuator, which I've got to roll the window up for, so let me turn the key on. Here we go, fellas. Key is on. Gotta get the sticky crap pulled away from the door here. Come on. Come on. There we go. Now we're talking. Alright, so there's our hush panel, dust shield, whatever you want to call it. And looks like a big connector. You know where we should have went? We should have went to the door flex. There's probably a connector down there first. Live and learn. But if we're right, then we did the right step first. Let's see, we're gonna need a schematic because we want to see who's who here. Quite a few wires going into that thing. So we'll pop back in here. Let me back up. I think we were at the diagram. That's trunk release. We want to go back to door locks. Upfitter door lock schematic. So we're going to pop back in the door lock schematic. Body control, passenger door lock, right rear passenger door lock. Oops. So I don't know. Let's see. Can you guys see? I can't even see you. Looks like tan with white and black. So what is that? It's got to be more than one wire, fella, because it's got to be able to unlock, right? Does that make sense?
See you next Wednesday then.
Okay. So, yeah, you're welcome. Oh, that's door jar indicators, you ding dong. Good thing we didn't go jamming that. Door locks interior. Let's go. That's wipers, release systems. Alright, I'm going back up here. I don't know if you guys like the live videos or not, where it's just raw, unedited, uncut. Door lock. Door locks. Perhaps you don't. If you don't, leave your comments down below. Because I can just as easily, you know, cut it out. Cut it out. Remember that? Who remembers that? Cut. Oh, it's out. Cut it out. Was that from, shoot, you know, one of the TGIF shows from back in the day. Door locks, actuators. Full House, that's what it was from. Uncle Jesse always did. Cut it out. Remember? There we go. Unlock. To-do, so it reverses polarity and all that business. So we could actually have... Oh, crap. Big Papa wasn't thinking here. Oh, crap. We could have a bad ground. You ding dong. I did not look at this all the way. So tan and gray, I got a bad feeling about this now. I got a real bad feeling because it uses, when one locks, one relay's closed, it goes through the ground. You stupid idiot. What was I thinking? But the relays use the same ground. Alright, well, let's cross our fingers here. Made a horrible mistake. Door lock. Passenger. Tan and gray. Son of a monkey. I hope not, fella. I just got a bad feeling. You know why? Because I jumped the gun. I didn't read my diagram all the way. Ah! Should have known better. There's a tan wire. There's a gray wire. Let's go get a test light. Man, I feel like an idiot now. Tan and gray, where are you? Right there. The front probe this sucker. Come on, baby, just light up. Made me look good. Where we at? Ooh, it lights. And it lights. That's a 4 amp light, fellas. That's unlock. That's lock. Wham bambino. We got a bad door lock actuator. Hallelujah, the door locks are working. The ground is good. Which it must be because the relay clicks, and I think they use the same ground. Let's just try it with a key fob. Lock. Unlock. So lock, it locks all doors. Hit the unlock once, it doesn't light. Hit it again, it lights. Bob's your uncle, that's 4 amps. It's more than what that little guy is going to put out. Let's plug it back in. Oops. Let's plug it back in. Where'd my keys go? I threw them. Doesn't work, fellas. You got a bad door lock actuator. And I'll bet you $50, $5, we'll say, I don't want to lose 50, I'll bet you $5. Now, oddly enough, despite what you might think, that we have 4 bad door lock actuators. Why, you ask? Why, Eric? How can that be? That's the next question. Well, in my experience, on these Chevys, so there's no other option at this point. To be honest, you know, just so we're clear, there's 2 wires that run that door lock actuator. Power and ground, it reverses polarity, opens and closes it. We can see lock and unlock lights, a 4 amp bulb. And I guess we'll get back to the question that you're just asking is, you know, how can that be? Well, the fact of the matter is, these door latches are stupid money from GM. So I get these GMs come in all the time. I'm not throwing rocks at Chevrolet, so settle down. They come in and you're like, oh, it's, you know, a $200 door latch or something. I'd have to look up the price, whatever they are. They're usually ridiculous. So the actuator quits, people don't fix them, and then that one quits, and then this one quits, and then that one over there quits. And then, you know, here you are, or here we are, here this guy is. So what I'm going to do at this point, I am not going to tear apart all 4 doors and then put all 4 doors back together. I'm going to call the used car guy. I'm going to tell him what happened to his trunk, that was missing a relay, that there's no way in thunder that actually worked, and tell him that we tore apart 1 door, identified it as a bad door lock actuator, 100%, no questions asked. This needs a door lock actuator. Good chance that all 4 doors are going to need them. It's going to be, you know, what, $1,000 or some stupid thing. Let's see how much they are. Let's just have a gander. Let's see. Do they do? I don't know if the estimator on here has a parts thing or not. Let's just see. Yeah, motor, parts, and labor. So let's go on here. Let's just have a look. See. What do we want? Let's just type in door lock. I'll tell you, doing the videos raw and uncut, it makes my job easier because I just take the video file and put it on YouTube, add a little music and a logo, and bam, done. Body hardware, front door, lock. Where's my parts, fella? Oh. What's that? I thought this thing was supposed to give me some parts. Where's my parts? Lock cylinder gives me a part number. Lock R&R. This is not helpful whatsoever. Just gives me a part number for the lock cylinder. Oh, when all else fails, Google, baby. 2008 Impala door latch. Door lock actuator. Look at that, it's already on top of the Google list. Wow, Fleabay has a whole set for $50. Could you imagine? Walmart. Let's go Amazon Prime. See what they got. Dorman. Could you imagine having your life rely on Dorman? Even the Dorman one's $101. I would never ever install a Dorman door lock actuator. So what we will do is, I'm going to call a Chevrolet. So aftermarket, they're not too bad. When it comes to door latches, I don't know, that scares the bejeepers out of me. Although it does have 4.5 stars of good reviews. What I would do in this case, I'm going to call Chevy, see how much they get, just out of curiosity. Okay. 232.32, and you stock them? Okie doke, I'll let you know. Yeah, thanks, Joe. Goodbye. 232.02 from Chevrolet. So what do? Do you hedge your bets on a $50 set from Fleabay or Dorman that might let your door fly open and kill your whole family? Or do you quote the guy on ones from General Motors? This is a used car lot, so 99% chance I will not get the job because it'll go to the guy who gets the $50 set on Fleabay. No skin off my back, and I don't have to worry about getting them and putting them in, and then a week later they go bad, and then he comes back and he's screaming. But you can see perhaps why this vehicle has ended up like this, because let's say we quoted this job on all OEM parts, which would be the wise thing to do. That's $1,000 in parts, you know, because you're going to figure, you know, $2.25 per door, plus labor to install them, you know, whatever that takes. You know, diagnosing this and that. I mean, you know, sales tax, you legit got $1,000 in it, easy. And I've seen it before, like on the Cavaliers and Cobalts and stuff. They come in, they're even more money than that. They're stupid money. When frankly, you can go to the junkyard, you can buy the whole door, you know, at a pick and pull for like $50. And if it works, great. At least you got a used OEM one. I don't know what the answer is. I got paid to diagnose it, and I'm gonna call him. Probably be smart about it, call him before I put this door panel back on, and see what he wants to do. Does he want me to take apart all 4 doors, 100% confirm it? It would probably be the wise thing to do, but at this point, my feels are telling me that we're going to find the same thing on every door. I wish there was an easier way to get in there. Perhaps the other doors we could check right at the door flex, but then you don't know what's making it to the actuator, so here's where you're at. The driver's door would be the only oddball that has its own separate unlock relay. It all shares the same lock relay, separate unlock relay, so it unlocks the driver's door first, then all the other doors. My advice to you at this point would be, if you have a Chevy, or any vehicle for that matter that has automatic power door locks, and you have the ability to turn the automatic lock unlock feature off, you know, like you put it in gear, it locks, you put it in park, it unlocks, you shut the key off, it unlocks. Unless you need that feature, let's say you live out in the country and nobody's gonna come up to a red light and mug you, then just turn that feature off, because, you know, if you think about it, you know, if you drive your car a couple times a day, man, and then that's it. So if you can stop them from cycling so many times, I always turn that feature off my car. I go down in this, you know, down in the city or something like that, or wherever, your kids are in there, you don't want them splatting on the road, then just hit your button, you know, be mindful. Turn the button on, lock them, do whatever you gotta do. Most cars you can turn that feature off through the driver information center or something. Usually look in your owner's manual, it'll tell you how to turn that automatic lock feature off. I think on the Hondas, it's, I don't know, you pat your head and rub your belly and hold the button and open the door, you know, something like that. And then it, you know, with the key fobs, most vehicles you can do it without any kind of fancy scan tools, anything like that. So I think we're done. I think the fellow lied to us. Whatever. I've said 100 times, never believe your customer. So I can't get a hold of the fella. Like I said, I'm almost 100% certain I will not get the job on this. I don't know if I've ever gotten a job from him as far as fixing the car. Usually I'm last ditch effort with most shops, you know, they poor car guys. I'm usually the very last place that they'll go to, which I don't understand. I mean, I've never screwed them or anything. I mean, I don't screw anybody, just bring it in, fix the car, pull it outside. But oddly enough, the people that will go to all these other, you know, backwoods shops, I think it's because their labor rate's cheap. Mine's not that expensive. Mine's only $70. I'm average for my area. Unless you go to the dealer, you know, you go to our local dealer, they're $1.25. So I'm just about half the price of the dealer. In my opinion, I have the same abilities as the dealer. You know, especially on GM, I have both dealer level scan tools. Tech 2, MDI. Got them both. I can program. I can do anything the Chevy dealer can. It's only half the price, but yeah, for whatever reason, I'm always the last stop. Just had a guy come in a little bit ago with an 11 Impala, and his car's quitting on him all the time, and he's had it at another shop, and he's out of money. They put $1,500 into it. They've done crank sensor, both camshaft actuators. He tells me they put a computer in it, but I know the shop he was at, and there was no way they put a computer in it. You know, and all this stuff, and he is told that his injectors are stuck open, and that's why his car is quitting on him. So he says after he gets the bills paid, because he's broke now from paying the $1,500 the other shop, that he'll bring it in. which is ridiculous because if you just brought it here first, usually you find out that, you know, it's just not that big a deal. I mean, you could have, you know, fuel pump relay going bad or something. That's going to make you feel kind of bad. And you piss away all that money to find out that it's, you know, something simple. I tell you what, I'm not going to feel good until I know at least there's power making it to every door, and I am getting paid to diagnose it. So I tell you what, this is the rear door, so I'm still sitting by the passenger front here. Instead of tearing all the doors apart, let's just at least verify. Let's verify that there's power making it to the doors. Ah, you ding dong. You know, because what's the chance of having a broken wire in every single door? You know what I mean? Let's just see. Let me get this connector out. Come on. You know you want it, baby. Where are you? There's 3 of you. Stinking phone. Let's see. Maybe that's the used car guy calling back. Oh, I can't believe it. I've already lost so much money. It's for my grandbaby. There, jeez. Everybody needs to take the door panel off. Here we are. What color wires was it? You guys remember? Was it gray and tan? I'm thinking. Gray and tan. Let's try gray and tan. We'll do the hokey pokey. Gray and tan. It kind of reminds me of black and tan. Who drinks black and tan? Anybody? You? Can't tell if I'm in. Oop, there's unlock. There's lock. Lock. Unlock. Alright, that's 4 amps. We're just going to find the same thing on every door. I guarantee it. That does not mean that it's not broke inside this door flex. We'll give a pull on the tan wire. Where's my Brownski? There she is. Give a pull on that. Tug on that. They're not broken the flex, or we would have just yanked them right out. And I'll tell you right now, that rear trunk, that thing ain't worked in a while. You guys see how stiff that rear trunk was? So here's my thoughts. Now, why customers lie to you, because I think ultimately they kind of feel that, I'm not a psychologist or anything, I think they feel that it will be cheaper if they perceive that the problem is not that big of a deal. Like, oh, it's, you know, it's got to be simple, you know, it shouldn't take you that long at all. I think it's kind of like a self-comfort thing that folks do. You know, perhaps like when we go to the doctors and we're like, well, I'm sure it's no big deal, you know. I think it's just how we comfort ourselves. Or me, I'm just the opposite. That's what Mrs. O says. I'm always planning for the worst. Like she went up on a hike in the Adirondacks with her sister, and I sent her with an emergency beacon. She thought it was overkill. But, you know, something happens, you're out there hiking, you know, her sister falls, breaks her leg, you know, something like that. You got no cell service, no nothing. What are you going to do? What's your plan? So that's just kind of how I think. So I sent her with an emergency beacon. Yeah, they're a couple $100, but you know, if it's, you know, it could turn into a life or death situation. You don't know if you're out, you know, you're out in the wilderness like that with no, you know, survival skills or minimal survival skills. I'll tell you what, when the SHTF, that's when the hits the proverbial fan, you're going to be glad you got that little emergency beacon. And somebody's going to come rescue your butt. So there's that. I'm going to go check all the other doors. Not going to bore you with the whole process because I'm pretty sure we're going to find the same thing. Driver's side rear. That is tan on the door side. That is brown on the door side. That is some button lock. Unlock. Nice and bright. 4 amps of power. Moving on. Driver's side front wire, lots of grays and browns in the door. Pick the two that are the heavier gauge, the two brown, or the brown and the gray that's slightly larger. And they should be the ones for your actuator. The other ones, I don't know what they are. We'll see, we'll go. Door lock, door unlock. Obviously lots of power here. No connector on this door. Well, there's a connector, but it's up under the dash, so I just did the hokey pokey. It's in an easy spot to cover up. Grab a little liquid electrical tape, a little dab, and now we're done. So before somebody in the comments says that testing the wires there doesn't prove anything, you are 100% correct. It doesn't. That proves that we have power and ground to the door flex. We have this much section of wire that potentially could be bad, or a bad door lock actuator. Being that we tore apart the passenger side, proved it was the actuator. Past experience, my gut tells me that we have 4 actuators. I've seen it multiple times on Chevys. Enough to know where it really doesn't surprise me anymore. Even though I act surprised every time, like, well, really? So that's that. I'm gonna keep moving, wait for this fella to call. We're not gonna get the job on it, I'll tell you right now. Don't get your hopes up. We're not gonna fix this car. And so that's that. That's what you used car guys are. I diagnose them, the $10 an hour guy fixes them. So we're gonna keep moving. Go down there, click subscribe, ring the bell, let me know what you think about the live, raw, uncut video, diagnostic video, I guess. See what you guys think about that. Like I said, it makes it easy on my part, I'll tell you that much. And that's it. Find us around socials, Facebook, stuff like that, Patreon. And just remember, viewers, if I can do it, you can do it. Thanks for watching.